Okay, so the style guide, or style guide, let's add it. The critique discussion board for the style guide, HTML build for the style guide is open. It is due in a week, which is different than what the assignment itself said. So I will change that. Let me drag this up for you guys. I really need to start calling this style guide. I might go through and rebrand the whole thing in the style guide. Yes. Let me take the date off here. Not graded, no date, 0 points. Okay, great. Okay, back to modules. All right. Yeah, anyway, I'll go back and start calling this style guide here in a second. But yeah, so so we're changing something up. Like I said, the due date for what we're working on right now, the HTML CSS build of the style guide, that first page of the style guide. There's going to be 2 more pages to the style guide. That is due in a week. That takes us up to the week before midterm. So you'll have your midterm will be done on your cohort day. So for you guys, it's Tuesday. For everybody that's not here right now, it's Thursday. Mostly that's so that I can, well, honestly, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah. What else am I trying to say? Sorry, my brain's a little scattered right now. Yeah, so you have another week to work on it. I'll help you guys today if you have issues and problems. Hopefully everyone watched the recordings from last week where we finished out, I think on Thursday I finished out the icons and went through the methodology for doing the icons. There are a couple ways that worked better than others. I think what I landed on was exporting all the SVGs from XD as one SVG, all the icons as one SVG, which lets you change all the stroke colors and stuff, but you have to target specifically stroke colors or you need to make sure you ungroup all of them if you have them grouped into rows and columns in XD. So what that means is, get XD open here for a second. All right, so XD's open. So if you're working on your icons here, and you come into your icon sets, like the idea, when I was building these, I had them grouped into rows, like of groups, so there were 10 individual row groups. Does that make sense? When you have them grouped like that, when you export it, it exports all of them inside of another group inside of the SVG element. Okay, because SVG is just an HTML element full of coordinates and characteristics and all this other stuff. And what that does when you try to change like stroke color is if you try to change that stroke color programmatically in your CSS, it'll add like an outline square, like a rect. It puts everything inside of a rect, which is just a rectangle, right? It puts all of your icons inside of a rect, and if you try to blanket change the stroke color for all of the elements, all those icons, it'll make that show up, which is, we don't want that. Okay. So the idea is you can have them grouped in one big group for export, but then you need to have them individual inside that, right? So that's what I have here. Like there are certain ones that do have a rect that's part of it, but that's just part of it. It's part of the icon itself. Okay. So yeah, so then let's open up Atom. A lot of windows open. Yeah, okay, this is my example. So I think in my example, I got it working by having them all individual and then going through and changing the background colors. Have the icon groups change. Oh, one thing so the other thing I did do is I went through and I exported each of these groups individually, so it just included the colors. I didn't try to change the colors in CSS. That's what I ended up doing, because it was much easier to do that. Just export it as a big SVG group with the right colors already. That took like 2 seconds, as opposed to like spending 40 minutes or something like I was doing, like I did on Thursday, trying to figure out how to do it in CSS. Okay, so just do that. Just export it from XD. Why not, right? You have it right here. All right. How far are you guys? How far is everybody? Do you have like at least typography done, or yeah, and styled correctly?
It needs tweaks.
It needs tweaks. Okay. How are you doing?
I'm pretty much done.
You think you're
I
done?
was wondering, could you remind me where we got the icons? Because in mine, like, the issue with the icons
Yeah.
is that, like, when I had to resize them, some of the, like, lines within didn't resize the same way as the other ones, so they just looked kind of weird. Like that.
Oh, interesting.
And I
Yeah,
thought
I wonder.
downloaded it, now I can't find it on my own.
Right, and I didn't add it onto here. Gosh. Let me think about that. I have all these here. What? Oh, right.
Wait, I might have found them.
You found them?
Yes.
All right. You did find them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't remember exactly where I got mine from. I wonder if I stuck them in here.
I got mine from like the Adobe XD website.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Line icon pack. This is where I got mine. Line icon pack, but it doesn't say like where they were from. I don't remember. I think it was an XD resources site.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Specifically,
XD Guru.
probably.
That was like the first link you went, and then it took you to their site.
Right. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, it's as long as you're downloading SVGs, it should be okay. But yeah, you might run into issues like that where some things are maybe objects, like shapes, and some things are lines.
Can we use like an Adobe XD where it lets you export the SVGs as like in the squares?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I guess like specifically, why do you think that's different than how I did it?
Because it creates it like all laid out for you.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh, okay.
That's what I did. I took the overall group, like this group
Yeah,
normal,
And then just like,
and then I just marked it for export,
yeah.
and then went to edit, export selected,
Yeah.
and that just exports that as that square as one, as long as you change this to SVG. Presentation attributes, that just means that like what it looks like here is how it's going to export it. Internal CSS adds CSS into the HTML, which you don't want to do. And then we just want to embed it if there's images in it, which there aren't, so it doesn't really matter. You could do optimized file size if you want. That just takes the spaces out of the SVG, but you also don't have to. Like, if you were doing like an entire website and you were going to have all these icons all over the place, then yeah, you'd want to, because it makes it load noticeably faster. But for our purposes, it's not a big deal. Okay. Great. All right, Cole, what kind of issue were you having?
I can't get my viewport width to center everything. It just when I go into my inspect element, like I can see that it's working, but it's
Don't forget you need a folder, a subfolder in here. Like your structure should have like a CSS folder, and style.css should be inside that folder. And then when you link to it, it should be CSS, like that. I know it seems minor, and it seems kind of ridiculous to have a subfolder that just has one thing in it, but it helps to keep the structure clean and easy to read. Oops.
How do you get the window on the left side back up if it went away?
Like this?
Where it says project?
This? Oh yeah. So if you just if it looks like this, just mouse over here to the middle, and that you should get that little circle that pops out or semicircle.
Thank you.
Click on that. You're welcome. All right. Open browser. Oh, that's mine. Right now, open. This is mine. Where's yours? There we go. Ah. Let's take a look. Oh, because you don't have margin set for class col M. So what you need to do is right after width, you need to say margin 0 for top and bottom and auto for left and right. And that auto is saying whatever space is left over, which is 20% of the viewport, because you set the width to be 80, it's going to split that automatically between the right and left sides. So it puts 10 on the left and 10 on the right, 10%.
Are you serious?
Yep. That's it.
Bye guys, I'm gonna go drop out of college.
That's web design for you. It gets frustrating at times. It's okay.
Okay, so that's
I feel really dumb
Hmm?
now. I feel really dumb.
Don't. It's okay. HTML and CSS humbles even the most proud and capable. I mean, there are times, I've been doing this for decades now at this point, and there are definitely times where some little semicolon I missed somewhere makes me want to throw my laptop out the window and quit and go be a hermit somewhere.
Second.
Yep. Does anybody else have any questions or issues?
Yeah, I'll email you.
Okay, great. Yeah, zip it to me. All right, well, I'm going to stop recording class then.